Hey there, comic fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week, and I got 7 new comics and a magazine. We will start you off with Hillbilly #1. My comic shop tracked me down a copy of this. Working on a copy of issue 2, too. But this is the Eric Powell book. I actually read this online because I didn't think I was getting it. But now I've got a physical copy of it. Cool. It's about this guy here so far who carries the devil's meat cleaver that can kill witches. He's got a little smashed corner up there too. But still, I am happy to have it. Hillbilly #1. Next, we have East of West, issue number 29. There's a mean stare. Wars have started between our various characters and factions. Introduced to these new human bounty hunter characters as they hunt down the beast, who's this little boy. So I assume this issue is going to be about these guys. That's the beast right there, this little boy who is Death's son, who's been raised to end the world. So I'm sure we got more action in this issue. After issues and issues of complex political interplay, we've now got the war. East of West, number 29. And here we have Spawn, issue 265. I think this is the last Erik Larsen, Todd McFarlane issue, and that is Ant, who I think Erik Larsen bought the character from the original guy who created it or something like that. And or licensed it, and he's going to be putting out an Ant comic book, and there's going to be an Ant, Savage Dragon crossover too. Either way, Ant's going to be in. I guess it's a her now. I think it was a him at first, in her own comic book or mini series. I'm not sure who's taking over Spawn after Larson and McFarlane leave, but I'll probably be dropping it. But you know what? I might give it an issue or two first. I've been enjoying this Erik Larsen, Todd McFarlane run. I thought it was going to be longer than this, and since Erik Larsen said, I think he said he was going to be on it at least a year, but, you know, plans change. 265, I heard, was the last issue of them, so we'll see what's next. And then we have Saga Chapter 37. It's been a while. What happened to the last issue of Saga? Is this a wraparound cover? Oh, it is. Look at that nice wraparound cover. We got a two armies facing off cover. I think the last thing that happened was the little girls reunited with their parents. Did that happen? I don't even remember. It's been a while for Saga. Families are goddamn wildfires. It's a very family-oriented book here, this Saga, even if it's not for little kids, because you've got naked ladies shot in the chest and such things. There's the little girl. Somewhere her mom and pop. There's her ghost. Said I don't remember much of what's happened in Saga since it's last been here, but I'll catch up. And now we have Rough Riders, issue number 5. Adam Glass and Patrick Oliff. Looks like Jack Johnson, the heavyweight champ, is in a little bit of trouble here. They're down in Cuba trying to figure out what's going on with the Maine, I think, which got blown up. Teddy Roosevelt is in this one. Who showed up? Rasputin showed up. And I think we've got aliens controlling people too. So this is there's Jack Johnson and some woman with strategically placed leaves. This is sort of a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen riff. That's Harry Houdini there with Jack Johnson. There's also Thomas Edison and Annie Oakley. So, historical fiction, fun stuff. It's an Aftershock comic. I've been picking up a couple of their things. I want to pick up some more of Aftershock comics, but they haven't been easy for me to get my hands on. Because my shop orders no shelf copies of them, and they have trouble reordering them too. But anyway, Rough Riders issue number 5, good stuff. And here we have Lazarus, issue number 24. The war is on in this one, too. And some of our Lazaruses are off fighting in wars. And Forever, our main character in this, is healing up some of her injuries. And Lil Forever, who's a new character, is not quite old enough to take over. But there's our lead character Forever and her new buddy, who's a fellow Lazarus from another family whose life is in danger now. We got politics, we got war. It's kind of like East of West, but completely different. But I've been enjoying Lazarus. Was it Greg Rucka and... Oh, I just forgot Lark's first name. What is it? It's Greg Rucka and Michael Lark. There we go, with Tyler Boss. Yeah, I found out on that when the Four Awesome Guys interviewed Tyler Boss, who I think is the artist on Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. He does the background inks and such things on Lazarus, too. I did not know that until that interview. Interesting stuff. So there we go, Lazarus, issue 24. Here we go, Duper's Legacy, Duper's Legacy 2, issue 3. Mark Millar, Frank Quitely. Quit saying quietly. It's Quitely. See that? Q-U-I-T. Quite, not quiet. But anyway, Frank Quitely, Mark Millar. This is one of the more fun superhero books I've read in a while. It's just... Now we're into the... where the superheroes are trying to take on the establishment, and there's just big fight scenes and stuff, and a slight amount of politics going on in this one, but it's mostly superhero fight scenes and machinations between uncles and aunts and daughters and nephews and fathers and fights, and that's the new little kid who the old good guys, now bad guys, rulers of the world. They're not quite bad guys. Don't even know about. But like I said, this might be the most fun superhero book I've read in a while. I'm hit or miss with Mark Millar stuff, but this is a hit. And the last thing I bought was the new issue of Image Plus, issue number 5, Walking Dead Negan Part 5. So we get those 4 pages of Walking Dead stories. We get all the little interviews, and I like the artwork in it. It's good. I think it's good to see the preview artwork. And hold on, we get a Invincible centerfold. Must be one of the must be his latest cover, or that looks like a trade paperback cover of Invincible. But either way, they give you a nice big piece of art in the middle for these last 2 issues. I like it better than the last issue's Violent Love. So you get previews of all the Image stuff that's coming out. You know, woo. Not a big hefty read or anything like that, but I enjoy it. For $2, I'll read a few pages of The Walking Dead and check out what's coming out next. A couple of other things I wanted to mention this week, because I finally read them, or at least I finally read. This is, I meant, when I was helping interview Chris Giarusso on Four Awesome Guys podcast, I mentioned that another friend, Greg Schiegel, who put out this Pics book, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a year, and I haven't read it. And I hadn't have read it. So I finally read it. Don't ask me why I didn't read it. Sometimes things just sit around. But I must say, I very much enjoyed it. Pics is the story of this, it's kind of an all-ages story. Maybe a little older than all ages. Maybe teen to all ages. About this girl who has superpowers and claims to be a fairy princess, but we don't really know if she is. There's a talking dog in it. And the plot is kind of straightforward but involved, in that there's all sorts of different talking animals, and it all takes place on one weirdest weekend. All sorts of talking animals, and she's got friends. She's a superhero, but her friends know she's a superhero, and her parents do too. So there's no secret identity mystery stuff. So it's all just, she's talking on TV. She's dating the some hot actor asked her out on a date, but he was a jerk, and she's fighting a giant magic 8-ball who's not giving her good answers. But Pics, one weirdest weekend, good stuff. If you like all ages comics, or you know someone who's where is this? For more Pics stuff, visit picscomic.com. So it came out in 2014. So it's been sitting around for a little while here. But like I said, $12.99. I think you can find it on Amazon too, or go to his website, picstuff.com. You know, some young women who like to read comics, this might be a good one for them. The other thing I want to mention was I think I got, was this in my birthday haul? I showed this. Adrian Tomaine, Killing and Dying. I just read this too, and it says 6 all-new stories, but these are the stories that appeared in Optic Nerve. I just wanted to mention that. I didn't remember the first 4 of them since they came out so many years ago, but I remembered the last 2. So if you have all the issues of Optic Nerve, you have the stories that are in here. I just wanted people to know that, since I didn't know that at the time when I first showed it, but it's good stuff anyway. I had fun. Like I said, I didn't even... Optic Nerve comes out once every 2 years or something like that, the individual issues. So I probably hadn't read the first story in a decade. So no wonder I didn't remember it. But the last 2 I only read last year and the year before, I think. So, but Killing and Dying is good stuff. If you already have Optic Nerve, the comic book, and don't want to spend the money on a hardcover, you don't need to. Finally, I'll give you a look at my background art. We got Dreams of Things, number 14 and 15. I showed you the black and white on this. Here's the color. I did this all in marker, right on the paper. You can always tell a marker drawing by some of the color shows through on it. That's how you know it's original art. I like the way this guy... I was a little... I like that better in color than I do in black and white, than I did in black and white. This one's just kind of weird, isn't it? Strange. I guess that's a woman. But that's an awfully weird head. But there you go. Little Dreams of Things, 14 and 15. You've seen it in black and white. Now you've seen it in color. You guys all have a good week out there.